welcome back to SourceFedNerd. I'm Trisha Hirschberger, and today I've compiled a top 10 Disneyland ride list for you. It was actually really hard. My top 10 should all be #1 in my opinion, and I couldn't even include Disney California Adventure or any of the other awesome Disney parks because I had way too many rides to fit into a top 10. So, after much debate, here is the top 10 Disneyland rides a la Trisha. Number 10. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. It's a wacky ride in Toontown. My girl Jessica's there, and the line is always long, even if it looks short, so be forewarned. Once you go inside, there's plenty of time to be in line. But there's fun secrets. When you get to the door of the Ink and Paint Club about halfway through the line, if you're patient, Bongo the gorilla will come and talk to you. You'll see a lot of people knocking on the door, but that's just not necessary. Number 9. The Jungle Cruise. I know this is a ride that polarizes people, but I personally love the super old school animatronics and really bad jokes by your tour guide. If the older robotics do bug you, you can always take this cruise at night and everything looks a little bit more realistic. I say embrace the fact that this is a Walt original. Walt actually wanted to use real animals, but zoologists advised against it because the animals would be asleep too often and most of your cruisers might miss them. Yeah, that, and I personally don't want to cruise with old Smiley the alligator and a real hippo. Number 8. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Now, even as this ride is almost forgotten and even taken out of Disney World in Florida, Mr. Toad is still driving crazy here in California at Disneyland. The ride was originally intended to be a coaster, but Walt thought it might be too wild for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. The shield above the entrance reads, Toady acceleratio semper absurda, which translated means, speeding with Toad is always absurd. And it is. Now, don't drink and drive or you'll go to hell. That's what I get from this ride at least. Number 7. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears, of hope, of fears. You guessed it, it's Small World! I know, this is a ride that people love to hate. And I get that there's repetitive music and a plethora of creepy dolls, but I personally love it. The detail in the costumes, the reminder that we all have different wonderful things to share just makes me smile. And for those of you that are not fans, in the finale room, if you look up at the hot air balloon, there's a clown holding a help sign with a sad face on, so he's right there with you. Oh, and there are no security cameras in Small World, so get your making out on, but not in front of the kids. Number 6. The Matterhorn bobsleds. Now, the Matterhorn is a coaster like no other. It's an American coaster enthusiast landmark for being the first tubular steel continuous track coaster in 1959. And the mountain is huge. Well, I mean, it uses forced perspective to look huge, but it's a huge mountain in the center of Disneyland. Now, I have no idea what the actual storyline behind Matterhorn is, but I make up a new one every time I ride it, and it always includes a Yeti, glowy crystals, snowstorms, and yodeling. Also, there used to be a half basketball court inside the structure above the coasters that many believe is still there. Number 5. The Haunted Mansion. Now, this list would be incomplete without the Haunted Mansion. In true Disney fashion, it's more spooky than scary and has oodles of really cool effects to bring the friendly haunts to life. The stretching room, the doom buggy, your ghost host voiceover, also awesome en Espanol. Madame Leota and the crazy catchy music makes me wanna hurry back. Hurry back. And the hitchhiking ghosts get me every time. Tons of secrets and rumors are here in this ride, one of the coolest being in the ballroom scene, that the spider webs you see on the windows and on some of the glass are actually bullet holes from a deranged guest who came through with a .22 caliber. Yep, that's true.
Also, the organ in the scene that the guy's playing on and all the ghosts are coming out of, that's actually a prop from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie that Disney produced.
Is it really?
Yeah.
High five. That's awesome. In at number 4, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Now, even though I personally am not a fan of Johnny Depp being smattered throughout, this ride is still awesome. The Disneyland version is the original. It was Walt's favorite ride, and it's way longer than the Florida version. And from starting in the Blue Bayou to the finish, it takes you to a completely new world. The women now chase the men for stealing their pies, but I kind of like the original where the men chased the women and tried to steal their pies.
Also, did you know, sadly, that this is the last ride that Walt personally worked on?
It's the last one?
Yeah.
Number 3, Space Mountain. Originally opened in 1977 and still going strong. Now, the thrill here comes not only from the many twists and turns and sudden drops that are the coaster itself, but from the dark atmosphere and the lighting effects within. You don't know where you're gonna go next. I don't know where I'm going next. You know what'll be a good time? So when you get towards the end of the coaster and you find yourself in a tunnel of stars, put on your best cheese, because that's when your picture's taken. Coming in at number 2, Indiana Jones. Okay, so this ride is awesome. It's fun, it's got some spooky parts, some thrill ride parts. The music gets you pumped up like nobody's business. Dun 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 dun. And there's some crazy fun hidden secrets. Well, okay, when you're in line and you're in the room with all the crazy spikes, make sure to shake the hell out of that bamboo pillar and it'll sound like the room is about to crash all down around you, and everybody else who's in line around you, they're gonna appreciate that. There's also hidden Mickeys everywhere and hidden Eeyores and other characters throughout. And rule of thumb, if a sign says don't pull rope, then you pull the shit out of that rope. Not once, but 3 times.
Here's a cool tip about the Indiana Jones ride. The animatronic of Indy is actually not modeled after Harrison Ford.
What?
They did it as close as they possibly could, but they did not have the rights to use Harrison Ford's face.
I love that. Thank you, Steve. That's really nice of you. Dun, 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 dun. Jesus! Let me pull it all together because here we are coming on in at number 1. I gave it to Splash Mountain. It's a $75 million log flume. So you get the drop and the water to cool you off midday in an amusement park, but Splash Mountain is really so much more. It's based on the 1946 film Song of the South, which you can't even get your hands on anymore because it's scandalous. So this is like the only way that you get to see Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Brer Bear through slip and falls and the laughing place and go to the briar bush. You don't want to be thrown in there, no. And then you get to zippity-doo all day. It's one that I would really try to talk even my wussiest friends. Steve, are you still here? Yes, into going on. Despite the big drop, the amazingness inside makes it intense. So this is number 1 for me because of the overall Disney magic that's just infused throughout. Everything is satisfactual. So that's my top 10 list for Disneyland rides. What's your favorite Disney ride? Would it be from Disney World maybe, or Tokyo Disney, or Euro Disney? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can click this annotation, or you can go to SourceFed.com and see all of our typed out stuff. We've got SourceFed, we've got SourceFedNerd, there's tons of videos. We do a lot of stuff here. My name's Trisha Hirschberger, and yay, Disney! I go every day, but I can't afford the annual pass that's like the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory because it's like a lot of money.